done that in 2019 with the estate. We weren't ready to build, but it was the plan in 2019.
So you applied for the permit in 2019?
No, that's when I contacted them and spoke and got the information I needed. But because it was only good for a year, I didn't want to keep reapplying. I wanted to do it when I wanted to go. So, and I wanted everyone to know that I was serious. This isn't a pipe dream. This has been planning for a long time. I would like to start planting trees. I would like to have trees along there on the west side of the property. I've got the house design ready. The driveway is there. But I can't go any further. I'll have to wait and see what happens with this hearing to have a go or a no-go, because I can't build there. The house won't be worth anything. Even if I move it, it would be practically on top of this pipeline. I can't do that. It would be ridiculous. Nobody would do that. Nobody would buy the house.
Yeah, I just trying to establish a couple dates here.
Sure.
Primarily when you applied and when the county issued it, if they did issue the building permit.
Yes, it's been recently. And I wish, if you could see it, I'm sure the date is on there. Let me see if I have a copy. Within the last, with the recent future, recently. It was recently.
And I think you also, if it's already in evidence, Ms. Lavalle, you don't have to hunt through your papers. If it's in evidence, that's fine.
It was after I found out the pipeline was going to be there. Okay. But I still thought I should still take some positive steps, because if the permit isn't granted, I can start. Within a year, I can start this process.
So let me also ask, when was the drive installed? Has that been there for some time?
Oh, that's been there since I was probably before I was around.
Was there another homestead there at some point?
No.
Okay.
No, the drive is the only access into the property for farming.
So, given your plans for development, is that something that you would have liked the opportunity to sit down with the company and talk about a reroute around where you'd like to build the home?
Well,
you said they hadn't ever really tried to contact you, so.
No. Any company that doesn't say, this is Summit, I want to talk to you. I can't confirm anything, but they called anywhere. It's, as my husband said, this looks like a complete fabrication. If they call, there's a call and hang up, and it was no. There's no number that they even attempted on my cell phone. I could see that. If it's on the landline, maybe I missed it. But if it rings, I'm standing there waiting to see who it is. I even picked it up a few times, seeing an out of area code, thinking, okay, this is probably them. Pick it up, and it's somebody trying to sell something, or dead air, or. I don't understand it. I've been vocal. Maybe they thought I was a lost cause and moved on to somebody else. I don't know, but I shouldn't speculate.
So what are your intentions now? You've got the building permit on one hand, but there's this permit proceeding now. Will you try to proceed with construction of a home, or will you wait to see the outcome of the proceedings?
Well, suppose I construct a home there. and it pushes it further to my sister. It goes between us. And my house isn't going to be worth anything. Her house will be worth less if it's closer to either one of us. No, it's dead in the water.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Colas.
Good afternoon, Ms. Lovell. I'm Jean Colas. I'm a landowner also. Would you please bring up the KMZ map for me, please? Can you back it out so I can see the entire quarter section? Okay. You've been you've done very well, but I note that only the northwest corner indicates ownership of the pipeline going through there. Who is the owner of that land, that quarter section, that parcel?
Are you talking about the red square?
Yes, the quarter parcel.
And the southwest corner? That's my property.
Okay, you mentioned that you split it with your sister,
right?
And she was notified. I was wondering if the northern parcel was yours and the southern parcel was your sister's?
Correct. Basically, we consider it one farm. We consider it the Poland farm, which was my grandmother. But in order to build property, it made sense to divide it that way so that I could own my house and property. She could own her house and property. The business of the same tenants, we farm it together, but it's just divided that way just for practical purposes. And if you and on this map, I was talking about the county wetland. You can see that on the west edge. That is, that is some wetland. The farmer he finally gave up, sold it to somebody else. They realized they can't farm it either, so it was given to the county. It's been a swamp as long as I can remember. So the pipeline is heading right into some bad territory.
So that makes sense now with seeing where your family home is. I didn't know, since it wasn't in the orange color, whether she just had a parcel or a section of that parcel that you actually owned. I totally understand and see your concern with between her homestead and what
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Lavalle, I'd like to follow up with the questions you were just being asked. You testified that you did receive the eminent domain notice in the mail, is that correct?
Correct.
And you received some mailings from the Utilities Board in the mail, correct?
The flyer, the black trifold, I received.
Okay. And then you've testified at least twice that you received what you've called propaganda in the mail. By that, do you mean mail from Summit Carbon?
I mean, it looks kind of like the advertisement that's come from local realtors. The little shiny, I don't know what you call it, mailer. I guess mailer is the correct. So I have a stack of that. I received the letter from Terry Branstad. I remember that.
Is it your sworn testimony you've never received a letter from Summit that included an easement with the letter?
Easement with a letter, what would that look like?
It would have said easement agreement on it.
Oh, from a Summit, an easement agreement?
Yes.
If I did, I don't recall it. I know whatever would have come certified registered, I didn't because I was worried about surveys. And maybe that was a mistake not to have taken that. But when all the lawsuits started, I just stopped.
So anything that came to you certified or registered, you just declined, is that correct?
Correct.
And by that I mean anything that came from Summit, you declined?
For certified registered, correct.
Do you know whether your tenant has been in contact with Summit representatives?
They have not, as far as I know. I'm in contact with them regularly, and as far as I know, no.
Thank you, ma'am. I don't have any other questions.
Ms. Lavelle, I just got a couple of clarifications. So this parcel, well, not this particular parcel, but the land that you and your sister, I guess, had jointly, you decided to split it. What year did you split that parcel or that land?
My mother passed away in 2019, so it would have been as soon as we.
Sometimes my Chair Ellen wasn't wrong yesterday. Sometimes my hearing is not the best. So officially live in Connecticut.
Correct.
So then, did you receive mailings to your home in Connecticut?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Right. Yeah, there's no other address that it would have come to. Right. There's no other residence anywhere. Perfect. There's no house on the property in Iowa, so it couldn't have went to a driveway going to nowhere.
Sure. All right, thank you. That's all the clarifications I had. Mr. Jorde?
I'd like to offer Exhibit 317, which is that building permit application that's been discussed.
Any objections to?
No objection.
Okay. Seeing no objections, we will enter Exhibit, I believe you said 317?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
And any redirect?
Oh, just briefly, ma'am, when you first started talking, you had been listening pretty intently to the testimony that's occurred after the deadline for your pre-filed testimony. So my question is, do you have anything additional that we haven't already talked about confined to things that Summit has said or represented during the pendency of this hearing that you disagree with or take issue with?
I've listened to nearly all of the hearings and testimony, like you're saying, and what I hear is a lot of Summit saying how this pipeline's going to go. This is how it's going to go. Like the IUB doesn't have any input. And there's no deference to people like myself or communities at risk. I mean, they're holding back this safety data plume study for some reason, and it's not because it's going to make them look better than they are. You can't put lipstick on a pig, and that's what they've got here. They're not making it look better, so they're not releasing it. Is my opinion. It's nothing but bad for the economy in Iowa. There's no public convenience and necessity. My productivity of my land is going to go down. They're going to rip through the farm. All this no-till that my tenants have been doing for years is going to be gone. Productivity goes down, yields go down, their crop insurance goes down, land value goes down, tax base for the county goes down. Everybody's making less money except for Summit. Local incomes go down, local spending goes down. I mean, it's just a lose-lose proposition. There's just no benefit to the farmer. There's no way, and I've talked to farmers in the area, that I think that this is going to increase our corn prices. It just doesn't work that way. The profits go to Summit. The profits do not come to the farmers. And record profits for the ethanol company. I used to think what a great thing this ethanol company is, and now I'm supposed to support ethanol, the eminent domain ethanol plant down the road. Are you kidding me? I mean, it just casts everything in a different shadow. It's a lose-lose for the landowner and for Iowa. And I'll stop there.
I don't have anything further. Thank you.